broadcasting live from the beautiful Legacy Theater in Alpharetta, Georgia for CodeLaunch Atlanta 2021. It's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Now, here's your hosts.
Welcome back to CodeLaunch Atlanta 2021. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful Legacy Theater. And Lee, this is the one we've been waiting for, man. We've got the winners from the contest. Please join me in welcoming to the show with Eva Health, Saurabh Vyas, and Hanna. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. So excited to be here. So excited to be holding a champion's belt.
That's right. Hey, they said everybody's a winner, but you're the only one that gets to bring home the belt. So I think you're the real winners.
You got it. I will tell that to the other folks.
So tell us about Eva Health.
Well, so Eva Health, it's a health tech startup. We're based here in Atlanta, and our mission is really to help family caregivers, like you or me, caring for a parent, right? So we're using technology to really, help you throughout the care journey, right? Not only to care for your loved one, but also yourself, right? So you want to make sure that you're also healthy, right? So that's a primary focus for us, and we've been at this journey for the last 2 years, building this, and so excited to get a win today. So Robbie's right there with me, my partner in crime. So super excited.
So now tell us about how the idea came about. What was the kind of impetus to get you thinking along these lines that you wanted to serve the caregivers? And I believe dementia is one of the areas you're kind of started in.
Mm-hmm. So dementia is, it's a focus for us. It's a starting point, right? And the question you asked is about caregivers. What was our why? We're also caregivers. We're also, cared for our parents, or caring for, and some of us for the parents that are still alive, right? So, and we've been in the healthcare industry. We're consultants, for three of the big companies, right? And crisscross the nation, several times over. And we've seen the needs. We've seen, when the family leaves the clinic, the hospital, they're by themselves to figure out what they need to do on a daily basis. So not only we've seen it from a professional landscape, what was the challenge, we also have experienced it as well.
So then what is your solution? Is it a platform for the caregivers to go and get other resources? Is it a place for them to commiserate amongst themselves as a support group? Like what's happening on the platform?
I think you're checking a lot of those boxes right there, right? It's I want to say everything, right? But of course, we're our focus, right? But so it's essentially a platform, like you say, right? Like you say. That's bringing together bringing to the caregivers not only information that they need on a daily basis, but also to technology, but also bringing support from their own community that can help them. So if it's not about just, hey, I need to find someone, which is important too, to share your experience. But a lot of times, if you're caring for someone, you need the help. Right, we need the help right now. We want to make sure that the folks that you're connecting with can help you, right? And so that's where Eva comes in and doing that search for you at the community level. So you don't have to do it, right? And you can spend the time caring for your loved one, but also yourself.
Well, caregivers, sometimes you need help, but sometimes you need a helper, and you need a place that you can go to find that trusted resource. And to protect yourself, because there's a lot of bad actors out there, and somebody has to kind of vet to make sure they are who they say they are.
Mm-hmm. That's correct, and Eva will be doing that. We'll do that for you, right? We'll be vetting, grabbing the resources in the community, and also the information that you have access. So now, if you go on Google search and say, hey, I need someone to help, right? You're gonna have several different type of result that come in, right?
Right, and just because someone's good at SEO and can show up
that's right.
doesn't mean they're the best caregiver.
Good, that's right. Yeah, good point, right? And if you are in Bankhead, right, your needs are very different from someone in Buckhead, right? So you want to make sure, with the Eva platform is looking at what are some of the needs that someone in Buckhead or Bankhead has. Let's stick on Bankhead, and bring those resources to that, right? So I'm thinking Bankhead. I'm thinking sometimes it's a food desert, right? What are some of the volunteer organization, community organization that can come in and support without you as a caregiver have to figure it out because you're already too busy, caring for that loved one.
Now
our intent is to start with Eva, and then Eva will guide you forever throughout the entire journey.
So it's starting though with dementia
that
caregivers.
Is correct.
Mm-hmm. And then now you mentioned Bankhead to Buckhead. So how do you target those kind of underserved areas where there are less resources? Mm-hmm. Because by definition, there's less resources. Mm-hmm. So how are you going in there to encourage other maybe nonprofits to cater to that area, to show them there's opportunity here to serve? How are you kind of creating that community?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of coordination, that needs to happen. So I'm originally from Haiti, right? So we are the countries of NGOs. And if you look at the news, and Haiti is the worst, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, right? We have like the most NGOs, non-government organization, per capita anywhere in the world. And when you look at it, it's like, okay, what's going on? And one of the reasons, like in the case of Haiti, is coordination. Folks are trying to do the same thing, right? Where they can come in and work together. And Eva, right, through our platform, is to bring all these disparate resources, bring into one platform and be able to effectively support, someone in Bankhead.
So how do you kind of meld that where it takes a human kind of curator with technology and scaling?
Mm-hmm. The solution has to be customized for. That's why I mentioned Buckhead and Bankhead. The needs are different, right? And so what it's looking at that community of Bankhead and figure out what are the resources, and how do you interact with the folks there, right? When I'm thinking I'm African American, right? If I need guidance, I go to my faith leaders. If I need support, I go to my faith leaders, right? So the African American approach to accessing information is different from, whether you're white, whether you're Latinx, right? So having that flavor and not having a one-stop, one-size-fits-all approach, that's what differentiated us. It's going to continue to be a differentiator for us.
So now, what compelled you to get involved with CodeLaunch? What brought you here to this event?
Well, so I'm going to let you speak to after the question, but let me take that on, right? So because I'm sure the listeners want to hear from you as well. So CodeLaunch, as a startups, you're knocking on doors, right? Trying to find folks that can help, and sometimes like anything, you may find the best help. And CodeLaunch, we got connected to a friend of ours, right, who told us, hey, there is this great, initiative to CodeLaunch that's helping startups just like you, right? And by the way, the deadline is this evening in 3 hours. So I'm scrambling. I'm like, okay, this is great, right? I'm tired. It's already like 10 p.m. I'm tired. And I'm like, oh man, but if I don't do it, right, it's like, well, you didn't need help, right? I offered help. So trying to put the information in the system, things were not working, right? I'm texting, I'm emailing, I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, trying to reach someone. And finally, I think it was probably midnight, they're like, oh yeah, we have a problem. Turn it in tomorrow, right? So I had a few hours, send it tomorrow, and we started the journey. I mean, just like, quarterfinals, semifinals to the finals, and now we're a champion.
So now, any advice for folks about CodeLaunch, how to get the most out of it?
Oh man, those folks at CodeLaunch have been, sorry, I'll say one last thing, I'll stop. I mean, those things at CodeLaunch has been, folks at CodeLaunch, Improving Atlanta, have been fantastic. A lot of times, we're looking for helps, folks are always like, okay, well, how much of the company are you going to give me, right? Those folks are like, well, we don't need anything, right? We just want to help you. And you're like, is that true? Right? Yeah. Is that true? Is that after like 2 days, you're going to be like, well, let's talk paper, right? And so, I mean, the work, the dedication that they have, and, I'm like, wow, we're not, it's just, and they rally behind our idea, right? And they gave everything that they got, and we're able to do a successful demo, proud of it. And I mean, the team is excited as much as us.
And one thing that really resonates is like CodeLaunch is also based on this foundation of community, kind of creating this new startup and venture community in Atlanta in this case, and really making it thriving, bringing everyone together to actually push it forward. And that's something that is like a shared value, because that's what we are trying to do as well when it comes to Alzheimer's as a starting point and healthcare in general, is bring them together.
Well, it sounds fully aligned with your mission of creating community. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they're really walking the walk when it comes to this. Yeah, there's a lot of events out there,
Yeah.
And so this one is one of the good ones in terms of they're not asking for anything from you, and they just want to really help you succeed.
No, for sure. And I think, the folks we've met through this experience are our friends, are part of our family, and they've said that we are part of their family, right? And Saurabh points, community is a big thing for us, right? And seeing other folks that are embracing us, in bringing us into their community without asking for something, that's family.
Now, for you, what do you need more of? How can we help?
Well, it's we'll be looking for beta testers, right? So if you're a caregiver caring for someone, reach out to us. I'm Carl at eva360.com, right? Saurabh, Saurabh at eva360.com, right? Reach out to us, right? If you're an investor in the area, right, and are passionate about, we're all getting old, we're all going to be caring for or are caring for an aging parent, right? So if you're an investor in the Atlanta area or in the US, wherever you are, right, interested in our mission, let's have a conversation.
And quickly to add to that, if you're an affinity organization, so if you're a church, if you're a religious organization, if you're a school, anyone who is interested in helping the caregivers and being part of the community or already have services, reach out to us as well, because we may be able to make it better, make it easier for you as well.
Well, Saurabh, Carl, congratulations again. What a fantastic feeling it must be to have gone through all of those machinations, put in the time, put in the energy, paid the price, and come out with this. But you're only getting started. What is the next step or the next couple of steps for you guys? Where are your energies going to be invested in the coming, 6-9 months?
Well, I think, it's fundraising. It's fundraising.
So, you hear that, Lee?
Right, so fundraising, right? We're fundraising,
Right.
For it to happen, we gotta bring the right capital and, of course, the right people, too, right, to get us to that next level. Focusing on tweaking, right, our product. Also, building alliances, right? We're all about community, right? So as Saurabh mentioned, hey, if you're out there, you are a community organization, you want to be able to, you want to support your community even better, right? Let us be that technology platform that lets you embrace your community.
I think that is a marvelous way to approach your continued success and your growth. Okay, one more time. Let's make sure that we leave our listeners with points of contact for either or both, whatever you feel like is appropriate. Email address, website, what have you. What's the best way for them to reach out?
Yes, I'm always on LinkedIn, folks. Call Hanna. I think there's a PhD behind it. So on call Hanna PhD on LinkedIn. Email, Carl at EVVA360.com.
And that's Carl with a C, by the way.
That's Carl with a C.
Nice. And Saurabh, should we leave some coordinates for you, or should we just send them to Carl?
I think it will be easier for the listeners to just stick with Carl.
You got it, man. Well, thank you again, gentlemen, for all of the hard work that you've put in. Thank you for what you're doing. Your mission, your work is important. It means a lot to all of us. We're excited. We're excited for you. And at least at Business RadioX at CodeLaunch, we're going to continue to follow your story, and we certainly want to help in any way that we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll be back in a few from CodeLaunch Atlanta 2021.